Hey everyone and welcome. We are back again today at the mobile home renovation in Verona, Mississippi. If you're new to the channel, we actually filmed here a few weeks ago where we were doing some of the demo work and getting the house prepped for some of the minor renovations we have to do here. But we've been jumping around a little bit to a couple of jobs we had to finish up. We had this sliding door that we were doing in Blue Springs, Mississippi, and then in Tupelo, we had to finish up the flip house we've been working on. If you remember from the last time we were here, I mentioned this is a rental property that belongs to my aunt. After talking with her, she doesn't want to do a whole lot here. She's just wanting to kind of do the bare minimum to get it livable again, so she can start getting some rental income back in here. So this isn't going to be super extensive. This isn't like a full house flip, but we are going to try to make it as nice as possible in the shortest amount of time as possible. If you remember, here in the living room, there was a little bit of a mold issue at the bottom of this window where it had leaked. So we cut that out and repaired the drywall, and now we've got to sand all this down and get it prepped for paint. And unfortunately, we're not going to paint this whole mobile home. We're only going to paint the walls that we had to repair. The entire home is wallpaper. This home is probably 30 years old, so there's little chance that we're ever going to find that wallpaper again. Her instructions were just to get a color that was similar and that would coordinate with everything else in here. So we picked something that we thought was close as possible, and we're going to paint this whole wall down to the corner that we patched. And if you remember from the last time we were here, we did remove the bathtub. So we're also going to paint this room. We're going to use the same color that we're using in the living room, but we're going to paint this whole room just to freshen it up a little bit. We've also purchased all the flooring that's going in the house. She's going to put a luxury vinyl plank throughout the whole thing, kitchen, bath, living room, everything. And we've got a new tub that's going to go in. In addition to patching the holes in the walls, there were a few holes in the ceiling where I believe a tree limb had fallen on the house. I'm not going to mud and tape those like drywall like I would traditionally. I'm going to attempt to just fill this with spray foam, cut it off and sand it smooth, and see if I can replicate the texture that's on this ceiling. There's another spot in the master bedroom that's the same way. I don't know that this will work. I haven't done a lot of repairs on mobile homes before, so I'm kind of experimenting as I'm doing this, but I think it may be an easier fix. And that's a pretty big hole to try to mud and tape there. So the foam is hardened now, and this is kind of what it looks like. This big bulge of foam coming out of the ceiling. I'm going to attempt to trim this off level with the ceiling the best I can. Depending on how it looks, I'm either going to use some drywall mud to kind of get this texture that the ceiling has, and they also make like a spray that you can buy that has the textured ceiling effect. I may use that. We may end up just painting this the best we can, just so it's not as obvious as the hole in the ceiling was. Again, we're not going for perfection here, but for one coat of mud on this and just that spray foam, doesn't look too bad. So now we have this wall patched and painted all the way down. This is the paint color we chose to try to match with this existing wallpaper they had. We tried to choose something that would match what was here, but would also brighten up the room some. But now that all that's done, we're gonna start on the bathroom. I need to patch the wall where someone had cut out a section of the drywall. First, I'm gonna get the toilet out of here. Here's the section I'm gonna have to patch. The original piece that was cut out is still in here, so I'm gonna reuse it. Mainly since it's already cut to fit, and it'll speed this up. But since it was cut out almost flush with the stud, I'm gonna have to add a few pieces here for it to have something to attach to. That mud's probably gonna take several hours to dry, but I set a fan in there just to kind of speed up the process. They make a quick dry mud that you could actually put on and sand within like 45 minutes. But that one you have to mix with water. It comes as a powder and you mix it together. Whereas this one that we're using is ready to use right out of the bucket. And the reason I got that one is because there's no water on out here right now. Theoretically, I could go next door and get some water, but this was just easier not to disturb him. I could just use this right out of the bucket. It just takes a little longer to dry.